Welcome. My name is Will Johnson. Tonight we have Gabriel Silva with us. What's going on, Gabriel?
How's it going?
It's going good. So, I titled this Russia and American Uranium. I want to really touch on the whole Russia deal and American. So it's pretty interesting. American. You need to mute that window over there. Okay.
There's an echo.
Yeah. My producer got it. When Vegas took place, the shooter took place in Vegas, they didn't talk about anything but that because they were pushing the whole gun control thing. And I was telling people that I said, now watch. As soon as it's done, they're going to start talking about Russia, because they still think there's something there. And one of the things, and I have a video clip that I want to play. And one of the things that Donald Trump did, and I'm telling you, this dude is smart. Donald Trump is brilliant. He knows exactly how to play the media. He's been doing it a long time. He knows exactly how to play them. And in this video clip, you know what? Let's just go to the video clip, and then when the video clip plays, we'll come back.
Uranium is a big subject. If the mainstream media would cover the uranium scandal and that Russia has 20% of our uranium for whatever reason, and a lot of people understand what those reasons may be, I think that's your Russia story. That's your real Russia story. Not a story where they talk about collusion, and there was none. It was a hoax. Your real Russia story is uranium and how they got all of that uranium, a vast percentage of what we have. That is, to me, one of the big stories of the decade, not just now, of the decade. The problem is that the mainstream media does not want to cover that story because that affects people that they protect. So they don't like covering that story. But the big story is uranium and how Russia got 20% of our uranium. And frankly, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. And it's a disgrace that the fake news won't cover it.
A lot of people don't even realize Donald Trump said that right before they came out with these indictments. Did you notice that?
Yeah, absolutely. I watched that, and whenever I seen that, I don't forget who I was talking to, but we said, you know what? Donald Trump's tone was different there. It was serious, and that was kind of something that we took note of there. I don't know if it was you and I talking about it one day, but whenever he first said that, we took note that he was serious. And so
you're talking about doing that video.
It triggered the media. It triggered somebody.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's playing the media like a fiddle. I mean, seriously. He knows exactly what he's doing because he did that. Then they said, oh no, he's bringing up Hillary, Russia, uranium, 20%. When the media is not looking at it, and then you have these liberal, hardcore liberal left YouTube outlets like Young Turks saying that the Hill reported on it in their mainstream media. But what Donald Trump is talking about, he's talking about the mainstream media today. CNN, MSNBC, he's talking about all of them today, and not any of them are talking about it. See, that's how they spin it. They completely spin it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The only thing that they're saying is, Trump campaign, indictment, Russia. That's the key words they're saying. And people that are not paying attention, they're going to just hear the fact that there's somebody that was involved with Trump that has ties to Russia, and now they're being indicted. And that's how they're trying to spin it, when it was actually before he even possibly met Trump. So I think it's a shame. It's a shame that we have to keep on fighting for facts with the mainstream media, the fake news. It's ridiculous what's going on here.
Okay, hold on. Someone said it's echo. Let me see if I can fix that.
Yeah, it's echo.
All right, let me see if I can fix that.
Yeah, it was echoing. I just thought it was me.
Okay. No, I think I got it.
It still has a little echo on it.
Does it?
Yeah. Yeah, so it was pretty ridiculous though to just to see, like, if you go to CNN and you watch their story, they're talking about how it's someone involved with Trump's campaign and everything, and it's just putting out fake narrative because they don't want people to focus on the Uranium One deal during the Obama era. It's ridiculous. And I think people need to actually start watching a little bit of CNN so they can see what they're doing to the people that are not woke and not paying attention. It's a shame.
Yeah, I completely agree. They're not going to stop. So I think I got the echo.
It's still echoing on my end from when you talk.
It's only when I talk.
Like you have a room mic in there feeding through.
Really? Turn that the third number 3 down. Okay. I'm not sure why. Yeah, you know what? Technology, you gotta love it.
Yeah. Technical difficulties. One thing that I was saying though, to Will just a little bit ago, is the fact that Tony Podesta stepped down from the lobbying firm. John Podesta and Tony Podesta have a lobbying firm, and it's just ridiculous that in our Congress we have an ability for these people, these lobbyists, to be a campaign manager of a presidential candidate. That if she got into office, he would got special favors for whoever he's lobbying for, whoever his firm is lobbying for. And James Madison warned in the Federalist Papers against the mischiefs of faction. It's interesting that we have so many conflicts of interest within our swamp, is what I want to call it, and it needs to be drained big time. There needs to be something that happens. I don't care if it's on one side or the other. Everybody involved in the corruption needs to be indicted, in my opinion.
I agree. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this echo situation fixed on my end. Is it still echoing for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is echoing. I think it's probably an extra mic in there, or a feed, or a loop, or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm echoing. And everyone that's watching like, dude, fix your echo. I'm sure.
Well, your voice is ominous, so.
Okay, you know what? Let me play this video one more time. And while we're playing it, while the video is playing, then I'll go and I'm going to fix this.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back.
Uranium is a big subject. If the mainstream media would cover the uranium scandal and that Russia has 20% of our uranium for whatever reason, and a lot of people understand what those reasons may be, I think that's your Russia story. That's your real Russia story, not a story where they talk about collusion and there was none. It was a hoax. Your real Russia story is uranium and how they got all of that uranium, a vast percentage of what we have. That is, to me, one of the big stories of the decade, not just now, of the decade. The problem is that the mainstream media does not want to cover that story because that affects people that they protect. So they don't like covering that story. But the big story is uranium and how Russia got 20% of our uranium. And frankly, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. And it's a disgrace that the fake news won't cover it.
Okay. I think I got my audio fixed.
Yep, it's fixed.
All right, cool. I do apologize, everybody. Technical issues. Maybe if I stop playing with it. All right. No, it didn't freeze. That was me. We're good. All right. All right, cool. All right, so, they're not going to stop. And I truly believe that Russia did, even if Russia did have some kind of collusion going on with Donald Trump, is it against the law for, someone in the Trump administration to find some information out about what a criminal was doing? I mean, so if Hillary Clinton was actually committing a crime, shouldn't someone be reporting that? And if someone has that information, shouldn't someone relay that information? And then they're upset because they were saying that he was going out and getting information about Hillary Crooked Clinton, that it's an issue. I mean, exactly what is the problem here? Let's say that I was colluding with Russia and during the election. I mean, what is the actual problem here? Because he didn't change any votes. They didn't change any registration votes. They didn't change any registration machines or voting machines. They didn't, go out and convince liberals to vote for Trump. So what is the actual problem here if Russia did collude? Is anyone even asking that question?
The problem is the fake dossier. Okay, that's the problem. Is that there's something fake that was fabricated and released that tried to affect the Trump presidency, and I think that's where there's a difference. If it's some truth that's brought to light, that's one thing. But whenever something's fabricated to defamate someone's character, I think that's a serious line that's drawn. And plus, that's an attack on the president of the United States. I mean, isn't that treasonous? To me, that's treasonous. Not only that, the Uranium One deal. How much more corruption can we get? I mean, come on now. And why isn't Hillary and the DNC and others being indicted on this factual information? This criminal behavior has occurred.
Exactly. You know what? Turn Shannon. Turn his headphones up for me right there, the gray one. Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, so you know what? So this was I have a documentation here, and this was on The Hill and thehill.com. And when I was watching the Young Turks, so let me back up a little bit. So I went through and I was looking for that video that I was just showed for everybody. And I went after and I was searching for it, and I could not find it anywhere. It's almost like YouTube is suppressing it. I mean, literally, it almost looked like YouTube was suppressing that video. The only way I found that video because it was on Young Turks. I mean, seriously, maybe someone else can go out there and maybe they can search for it, type in Trump talks about Hillary Clinton and uranium with Russia. I mean, I tried everything. I could not find that video. And I only found it because I found it on a liberal channel. Okay? So on there, he was talking about, the mainstream media is talking about it because he's saying The Hill was talking about it. Seriously? CNN, MSNBC, ABC, all of them, they're not talking about it today. They're not talking about Hillary Clinton. So this is I'm going to just read some of this real quick. This is what the FBI uncovered, Russia bribery plot before Obama administration approved controversial nuclear deal with Moscow. Okay, this is before the deal even. Okay, it says before Obama administration approved the controversial deal in 2010, giving Moscow control over a large swath of American uranium, the FBI gathered substantial evidence that Russian nuclear industry officials were engaged in bribery, kickbacks, extortion, and money laundering designed to grow Vladimir Putin's atomic energy business inside the United States. And this is according to the documents, government documents and interviews. This is crazy. They knew about it back in 2010. Actually, they knew about it in 2006. This is all before even Obama. So in the main part, it was in 2009 when Obama was already in office. They knew about all of this that was going on, and they did nothing then. And now all of a sudden, is Trump having collusion with Russia?
Yeah, no. So I learned about this a few years ago, and what I read was during the Oregon standoff with the Patriots, and when Lavoie got killed, he was killed by the FBI, and that had something to do with uranium-rich area. But the thing is that she was on the committee that approved it, and there was some stipulation that it couldn't be exported, so they had some Canadian company export it out of the United States. And so all this stuff was going on, and I think one of the screenshot, the comments from one of the listeners up here talked about Weller cleaning the evidence as he goes. So he has the ability to get this evidence and make it disappear. So I think that's definitely something to look at. Well, then you also have them trying to basically prevent someone new from coming in and heading up the investigation, because they have two pieces of legislation in Congress right now that will prevent Donald Trump from interfering in any way with the Special Investigation Council.
Yeah, you know what? They want to try to stop him from everything, any way possible, by any means necessary. They don't want the truth to come out, because all of these people that are crooked, they were doing the very same thing that they were blaming him. You were talking about it earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually whenever you point your finger at someone, you have three fingers pointing back at yourself. And it seems to be becoming more and more apparent that anything that the DNC and the left is complaining about, they're actually the ones guilty of. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, they're giving speeches over there in Russia, getting $500,000. There's so many connections with them, but they just want to keep on, like, they didn't focus on the story. They didn't tell the story that it had nothing to do with the Trump campaign. They just wanted to say a couple words: Trump, campaign, indictment, Russia. They just wanted to say the key words. That way, anybody that's not listening or not paying attention, they just associate it with Trump campaign, and now there's Russian ties and this and that. I mean, that's what I would have thought if I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, exactly. They think right now, because none of this with these indictments have nothing to do with Donald J. Trump, but the media is spinning it as if it's all about a collusion with Russia. And I'm still posing the question. So anyone's watching this, maybe there's something that I'm missing. So if Russia has some dirt on the Clintons, some stuff that they were doing,
I lost your audio, Bill.
can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Dude.
That just went off by itself.
Yeah, that's crazy. I got ghosts in here. Just my system just shut down.
Yeah, they're trying to shut us down. There's something going on, some lag. I just lost your audio again.
Say something.
I can hear you now. Your voice just
Okay, now you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
No, okay. Dude, that's just really weird.
I just heard like a switch, and then it was like no sound, so it was kind of weird.
That's
It just
really
shut off by
weird.
itself.
That's just really weird. That should, I mean, seriously.
Never had that happen.
I mean, am I talking about something I shouldn't be talking about here? Because I got more here I want to read. I mean, this is...
We know the story of what happens when you start talking about the Clintons, you know.
Dude, you know, I mean, you have a valid point. I mean, it's right here. This information that I'm reading, this is public information. This is seriously public information, but the mainstream media is not talking about it. That's what's really crazy. Let me read this real quick. If we still have people watching us, I can't tell. It says the federal agency used, the federal agencies use confidential U.S. witnesses working inside the Russian nuclear industry to gather extensive financial records, making secret recordings and intercepts emails as early as 2019 that showed Moscow had compromised an American uranium trucking firm with bribes, kickbacks, and violation of the Federal Corruption Practice Act. FBI and court documents show this.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, let me go ahead on and read the rest of this. It says they also obtained eyewitness accounts backed by documents. Now, all of this information is public information. This is on thehill.com is where I got it from. So, and they broke this information out when back in 2009, 2010, if I'm not mistaken. It said they also obtained an eyewitness account backed by documents indicating Russian nuclear officials had routed millions of dollars to the U.S. designed to benefit former President Bill Clinton. Charity Foundation during the time Secretary of the State Hillary Clinton served on the government body that provided a favorable decision to Moscow.
Yep.
This is crazy.
She was on that.
See, I'm telling you, it's like right here. And see, the whole point is when Trump brought it up, he brought it up in the video that we played earlier. He brought up how come no one's paying attention to what Hillary did in the uranium. All of this leads right back up to Obama because Obama knew about it, all of this corruptness before they did the deal even. He knew about it. And, and that's why you see now all of a sudden we got 3 indictments, somebody pleading guilty, and it has nothing to do with the Trump administration. Now all of a sudden they're playing and they come at 3 indictments. And then the dossier, they're trying to just, you know, and also the dossier. But now we got these indictments and that's the only thing they're talking about. They're trying to deflect it and they're trying to get everybody to forget about Hillary Clinton and the uranium, the 20%.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And they're talking about the fact that the probe is actually going outside the scope of the Russian probe. So, and they're saying because it's so generalized that he has the ability to go, wherever and do whatever he wants. And he has the ability to target one party or the other. I think it's pretty laughable the manner in which this investigation is being conducted. And I think that we need to all start, putting pressure on them to change that, because Trump can't affect the Special Investigation Council. So I think that we need to start calling for Mueller to get out of there. He has a relationship with James Comey, FBI director. So I think that we need someone different investigating this.
I completely agree. And to my understanding, he used to be the FBI director when Obama was in office.
Yeah, so it's just a conflict of interest. Of course, he's with the other party that he's investigating. So if that's not a conflict of interest,
and if the FBI knew about this back in 2010, he knew about it.
Yes.
He knew exactly what was going on. So how was he not part of the swamp?
I think that the fact that he is willing to throw someone under the bus from his own side just because they're easily connectable with the campaign, even though it has nothing to do with it and it was years ago. I think that just goes to show you the left will eat their own. And I think anybody over there on the left needs to start taking that fact into account whenever they're a part of this stuff, because any one of them can get thrown under the bus, any day now. Whatever play they have, they're going to play.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? Now, when liberals decide to eat their own, I mean, they really chew them up. I mean, they really go at them. Look at that guy, Weiner, or not Weinstein. Look how they did Weinstein. And the reason why they did that, because he got all caught up. And it was to, I think you mentioned that he was supposed to be doing a documentary with
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro. And then all of a sudden, he all out of nowhere, he having these sex scandals that they all knew about. And I'm willing to bet the entire liberal left media knew about it. And I'm willing to bet majority of these people on the liberal left, they participate in this craziness.
Yeah, anybody who stands up, especially like the sex scandals, that's like really, really high level stuff right there. Anybody that starts talking about, the pedophilia and all the stuff going on in Hollywood, instantly they get charged with some type of criminal charge. They're getting, their whole character defamated. They really chew them up, like you said. And I think that that's something that people need to look at. And you know what? That's something that's really one of the reasons why, this CAT is going to be so important, the Coalition Against Domestic Terrorism. I think it's going to be so important that people need, an investigative organization that can combat the fake news and run a full national marketing campaign and start exposing these people. We need real journalism. We need real investigations. And I think this is just one more story, one more reason why CAT, the Coalition Against Domestic Terrorism, is so needed.
I completely agree. 100%. I still want to know, and I posed a question earlier. I still want to know if Russia did collude with Trump, what laws were broken? I mean, because I'm not a lawyer. I mean, I'm curious. I would really like to know what laws were broken.
Think about all the money that we've spent investigating Trump as taxpayers. And he's been cleared this whole time, even though they tried to make it look like he wasn't cleared. Trump has been cleared a long time ago. They're investigating people around him, but I don't think he was really ever investigated much. I think that they knew they didn't have nothing on him. They've been moving around trying to find stuff. And so the only thing they can pile up after almost a year of investigation, the only thing they can pile up is one of their own people from a scandal that was going on years ago, that before he even probably met Trump.
Yeah, exactly. All of this was before Trump started running for president. This was all before that, and they're trying to tie it to it. And a lot of people that's watching it right now they have millions of people that watch CNN and MSNBC and all of these liberal media outlets. And if they don't get it from CNN, they'll get it from ABC. If they don't get it from ABC, they'll get it from MSNBC. I mean, and all of them have the same thing that they want to push: take Trump down. They don't care if he's innocent or not. They want to take him down regardless. That's their main agenda. That's their main focus. And when I sit there and I watch a little bit of them, and I'm like, are you kidding me? They're blatantly lying. And people that don't know any better, and people that don't even want to take the time to go research it for themselves, would never know the truth. And they count on people not going out and looking to find the truth themselves, because they even have a whole thing: don't go anywhere to look for the truth, come here. That's one of the main reasons why they did the whole Apple banana thing.
Yeah.
Even Jake Tapper. Yeah, Jake Tapper was saying, when the WikiLeaks released something, don't go anywhere else to look at it. Come here, and we'll tell you exactly what it means. And now they're trying to play the whole. They played a clip earlier where Donald Trump was standing. This was during the election, when Donald Trump was standing up there and at the podium, and he said, "Russia, if you have the 30,000 emails, release them so we can see them." They're trying to say that is him colluding with Russia too.
Yeah.
I mean, see, it's like, where did they get this from?
You know what? just the same thing. Like, they say Trump is a racist. They say Russia, Russia, Russia. It's all programming. It's subliminal programming. It's constant. It's so constant. It happens like they count, like you said, they count on the person that doesn't know what's going on. They walk by the TV or they listen to it for 15 minutes before they go to work or when they get home, and they just hear Russia, 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 Trump. They hear campaign, indicted, and they're programming people that don't really care about politics. And one thing I learned whenever I was in college in poli-sci is that most people they don't really care about politics. They don't really care about politics all that much, and they don't really want to hear it because it's boring to them, and they don't really want to get involved, which is also a breakdown in this country, civic duty as well. But it's just ridiculous because tell me this. If they had something on Trump, it would be the biggest story. It would be all over the news. You would hear it. If they had something, they would release it. There is no reason they're just holding on to some evidence that they don't have. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And I watched a video a couple days ago. How many minutes did they spend on the Russian Uranium One deal? They spent, I think, like 4 minutes. A lot of the major networks didn't even cover it at all. But they've spent on nothing, on fake dossier. They spent on this investigation, all tons and tons of hours and hours. But they've only spent not even 5 minutes on the Uranium One scandal.
They spent days talking about a Russia collusion. Days, beyond. Even weeks, and now months. Seriously, they're about to go to a full year talking about it. And but you know what? Like I said earlier, I truly believe this. And I said Trump is a smart man because he just talked about Hillary Clinton and the uranium. And now all of a sudden they came up with the indictments. And I'm saying this, and now I don't know this to be true or not, but I believe that Trump did this for a reason, just so they could play their hand to try to come out with something, because then he's gonna rock their world. That's just my opinion. I think what's coming next is just gonna blow everybody up. It's just going to blow it up. And sadly, that all of this taking place right before November 4th is just going to add tension to these liberals because there's nothing there. When they find out that they can't stop Trump and they can't stop the Trump pinch regime, what they're calling it, they're going to be upset and they're going to get angrier and angrier day after day.
Yeah. It's all in the framing. They're really good at messaging about fake news, When's the last time you heard regime? To me, that reminds me of Saddam Hussein or the Taliban.
Yeah, that's exactly why they named it that, because they want people to look at the Trump-Pence administration as a bad thing. When they've done nothing but good things for this country. The TPP, the Paris Climate Agreement. Those are just one major things and people don't even realize. Look at the economy. Look at the stock market. They don't even want to acknowledge any of that. All they want to do is destroy our president. And it's going to cause a problem. If they succeed and they do anything that's completely corrupt, because they're all corrupt, and they do something to succeed to remove the president, it would cause hysteria in this country, in my opinion.
Yeah. You know what? We have record high stock market. We have record low unemployment. Trump is making America great again. You know what? And let's just talk about the tax reform. They're trying to twist things up and say, yeah, the rich are getting a tax break. Let me tell you something about international relations. Okay. The reason why America is not attractive to business is because we have some of the highest taxes in the world. All right. We're not attractive to business right now. Businesses don't want to conduct business over here in the United States when we're super heavily regulated and we have the highest taxes. Of course, they're going to go to China or Taiwan. They're going to go other places. And if we want to really have a place, you have to understand economics. We have to lower taxes for these businesses and make it attractive for these businesses to come here, for Ford and all the businesses, the jobs that we've been losing. All right. It was designed that way to destroy America, to outsource the jobs and give away American jobs.
Exactly.
We become more service oriented, it's
exactly.
just ridiculous. People don't understand. They just listen to the fake news. They're programmed, and then they have an emotional reaction. They're good at it. They have the best professionals in the entire world that come out of the best schools and that come up with this crap.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you know what? For the life of me, I can't figure out why these people that live in America will try to do this to destroy this country. It's like like you just said, it's like they've been brainwashed to the point that they don't care. They are literally wanting to destroy this country to get what they want. And by keeping the taxes the way they are, is doing nothing but hurting this country. The rest of the world is prospering. They're like growing like crazy. But America, they're like want to bring it down. They want to burn it to the ground. I mean, seriously, why are they doing that? You know, I'm like, why are they doing that? Why don't they give the president a chance? CNN, MSNBC, none of them will spend a single day to say anything positive about the president. They don't want to, because they don't want people to believe that he's doing a good job. They only report what they want people to believe. They don't even report the truth. That's what's really crazy about all of this.
Yeah. What would we expect? Would we expect anything different coming from the globalists, from a president that actually wants to make America great again? I can expect nothing less. And I knew this was going to happen if we actually got a president that wanted to represent the people. And I'll tell you why and how they're doing that, okay? Why are people sellouts nowadays? I'll tell you why. It's because a long time ago, there was honor. Now, people that have integrity and have honor are few. They're far and few, because what they've done is they've degraded our ethics, our morality through culture. They've had this culture created of materialism. It's about what you wear and what you own and your material items, instead of things that are intangible, things that make you, the inside of you, who you are, and what kind of values you have. That's what people used to value. You honor and courage and integrity. And nowadays they've broken that down. They've broken our culture down and made people highly sexualized, consumer, materialistic slaves. That's exactly what they want, because it's all profit driven, and that's exactly what's going on.
Dude, that's exactly it. This world, this country is literally changing before our eyes. I mean, when I was a kid and I was growing up, we didn't have, maybe because I didn't pay attention to it, but maybe because social media wasn't here the way it is now. Maybe because when something happens because of social media, 2 minutes later, it's already viral. Sometimes there's stuff reported on social media before the mainstream news even talks about it. And I think that's part of the reason why they don't like the president's Twitter, because he'll put something out there and they're trying to keep up with the president. At the same time, put out their whole propaganda and put out their whole lies. They feel just like BAM. I wouldn't be surprised if the elitists that are running the mainstream media are members of BAM by any means necessary. Lie, lie, lie. Get everyone to believe the lie, so then that way we can push for ratings, for one, and get everybody to believe what we want them to believe. So then that way, when we tell them to do something, they're going to go out and do it. Same thing with like November 4th. I truly believe. And you know what? And I think I might have promoted it probably a little bit too much, but the only reason why I keep talking about it, because I want people to be aware what these people are about to do. Now, a lot of people don't even know about November 4th. And you're like, what do you mean? What's going on November 4th? It's just another day. It's going to come and go, right? Not if they have their way. Not if they have their way. They're going to be completely crazy. And with this whole Russian uranium deal, they don't even want to talk about Hillary Clinton. And you know what? And I think the media wants to direct attention from people paying attention from November 4th as well, because there's so much going on. We played the video with November 4th, and there's so much going on. You know what? Let's go ahead and play that video real quick one time.
Yeah.
It's the video from for the November 4th. Hold on one second. We'll play that video so everyone can see it, and then we'll come back.
Take your mask off. You think I want to get recognized like you and all these pigs? Take your mask off.
We can't just do rallies. We have to fight back. There will be casualties on both sides. There will be, because people have to die to make a change in this world.
To the world. So, you know, I'm now back to being an activist citizen and part of the resistance. The resistance. The resistance. The resistance. The resistance.
2. You know what? And that's, you know what? That's not even all the cities. That's not even all of them. That, you know, because, I mean, I could put a whole bunch of more in there, but that's not even all of them. It's crazy. You know, and every time I see that, my producer with Hillary Clinton, my producer, she always reminds me how when during the election, how Hillary Clinton said that she would accept the results of the election. And now she's part of the resistance. You know?
Yeah. You know what's so...
Go ahead.
The thing, I was just laughing during that clip. You know why? Because there's two things that's so funny. They're fascists against what they think are fascists. And that to me is hilarious. They're the actual fascists. But you know what's even funnier to me? They're fascists against these fascists they think are rich, but they're getting funded by the very people that they're supposed to be against. They're actually getting funded to fight what they think are rich people. They're fighting the regular common folk with the rich people's money. And so they're completely turned around backwards and don't even know which way is up or down. They're disoriented. It's so sad and scary that it's hilarious.
That, you know what? That's brainwashing 101. I mean, they are literally brainwashed. And when my producer put that video together, most of that footage, the video footage, was from when I was at Berkeley. And this is how it happens every single time. And I know we're getting off the Russian thing a little bit here, but this is how it happens every single time. But I think it all just ties in together. You know, it all just ties in together. But every time when we as conservatives, people that love this country, respect the flag, respect our president, every time we come together peacefully and just doing our thing, no one's fighting, they show up. And because they believe in by any means necessary that they can be violent and not get in trouble, or shouldn't be able to get in trouble for it. And Berkeley being, you know, such a hotbed with the mayor and everything, they truly allowed them to be that way there because they can show up with masks on, and the police at the time wouldn't even do anything about it. Oh yeah, you have a mask on, okay, you do your thing. I mean, this is crazy.
It's absolutely, you know what, it has everything to do with the relevancy. Okay, it's relevant because look at, we have senators like Senator Pan that uses the hashtag resist, you know, all the time. Hashtag resist, hashtag no hate. The same people are funding, these politicians are funding these street things. You just have to understand the complexity of the war, and it's all related. I mean, all the different money that, you know, Hillary takes from different countries and, you know, different foreign entities, you know, international, multinational corporations in different countries, you know, they take this money like George Soros, for instance. And George Soros is funding. Well, did you see that new Daily Wire? I think it's the Your Newswire or Daily Wire just put out a story about Hillary, and she's actually dumped in a lot of money into Antifa. And she just says right there on camera, she says she's part of the resist movement.
Yeah, so I did hear that.
Blatant, you know.
Yeah, I did hear that. I mean, the how real this is. I mean, yeah, true. My producer said that makes her a domestic terrorist. I mean, seriously.
It does.
And for if we don't pay attention, and like I said a second ago, the only reason why I talk about it because we need to pay attention to what's going on. If a meteorite is coming down to get ready to hit the earth, I'm going to pay attention to it, because I want to say my last piece. Some people were rather like, don't even tell me about it. I don't want to know about it, which is kind of crazy to me. People don't even want to know about it. You're riding down the street and there's a big truck getting ready to hit you. You have the opportunity to get out the way, but some people are like, don't even tell me about it. And that's what's getting ready to come. And even if November 4th is all smoke and mirrors, they're going to still get people to go out. Let's say, because Antifa said they're going to go out and be violent. And let's say that it's all smoke and mirrors, but people are still going to go out. People are going to go out and march. And when people go out and march, all it's going to take is, for example, you have 5,000 people in any city, any given city, and you have 50 of these Antifa members start burning vehicles, start destroying businesses, start attacking people, you will get 200 other people to join in. And then it just grows like a virus because a lot of them say there's too many for the cops to get all of us. And if that's happening across every city in America on the 4th, dude, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
It's going to be literally like a war zone. And I've had multiple people reach out to me and say, hey, Will, where are you going to be on the 4th? Because I think a lot of people would like to show up somewhere, And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, because to be honest with you, I'm going to tell you, I do want to go to one of these places just to see and to confront them. But I truly believe that they're going to be completely violent because these people, they have been possessed by these demonic spirits. They're going to be completely belligerent. They're going to be wanting to harm people. And you probably can't even have a rational conversation with them, But I would like to be there to document it, because it was happening. I really would. But at the same time, because I don't hold back about these Antifa, BLM, BAM, the brown shirts, New Black Panthers, Black Bloc, the Brown Berets, probably the La Raza, probably every other group that hates America is going to unite together because they've already said it. Even the New Black Panthers said they're going to go out too.
Yeah, they have, they're promoting it like it's a movie or something, like it's a big, huge movement. Like, they're basically having these Hollywood actors go out and say, I'm going to be out on the street. They're, the guy from Superman or Spider-Man, I forgot what the actor's name is, but he said he's going to be out. He vowed to be out on the streets. And they're getting these big name actors to do it. They're getting the comedians. They're pushing it all through the media, trying to create all this unrest so that they can say that Donald Trump's presidency was one of the most tumultuous times in America. So they can say that there's widespread, unrest against Donald Trump and that he needs to be impeached. And then we have these billionaires like, from, Common Sense Media, Bill Stiers or Jim Steyer, his brother Tom Steyer is running an impeach Trump campaign and ads on TV and everything. So they're trying to hit it from all angles in the media, get the streets, angry and violent, and then have the politicians come in and try to connect Trump with anything they can, even if they have to chew up one of their own. It's just, it's sad. It's a sad day in America. And, what I think about this is that we are living in a time that our framers worried about. They've warned us about it. And you know what? This is our duty to stand up and be those people that we read about in the history books.
Yeah.
This is our courageous to be the patriots, to be the ones that stand for freedom. The guy Brett that we had on the other night, he literally said that America is like the beacon of freedom in the world, and we cannot lose freedom in America because we'll lose freedom in the world. It's very important we stand up. Yeah,
but that's exactly what they want to do. And I agree. I haven't seen the video with the guy that plays Spider-Man because I most definitely would have played it, with him saying that. I haven't seen that, so once we get off of here, I'm gonna go check that out. But I did see another video that was playing on Chris Tucker, and they show this. This goes right along with the Hollywood and these elitists coming out promoting this stuff, talking about they're gonna be out on the 4th. And I consider them leaders when they're billionaires like this, even the football players, right? So they had Chris Tucker was showing this. I'm sorry, Tucker was playing. Tucker Carlson was playing this video where they showed this big truck. It was like I guess a 4x4 truck, and it had the Confederate flag on the back of it, and he's driving through the streets. And then they show these kids. One was Latino, one was black, one was I think Asian, and I forget what the other one was, maybe a Muslim. 4 kids, and they had these 4 kids running on the street like this truck was trying to chase them and run them down. This is the videos that they're creating. And this is part of the reason why when I ask people for help, so we can create some videos that we can play nationwide to combat this craziness. We can't do this without people's help. And so they're getting funded to create these advertisements that are completely hateful. And then, no good and well, no one's riding around, and they showed a white guy in the truck with a Confederate flag on the back flying like he's getting ready to try to run down these kids. Knowing good and well that is not happening, but they're doing this to push this fear onto people. And then they showed the kids like they woke up from a nightmare, and then each one of their parents was holding them, saying it's okay, it's just a bad dream. Like this is the America we live in. See, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah, you know what? It's really insane. You know, they're targeting the kids. They're trying to brainwash the kids. For instance, they had Teen Vogue had an article that was glorifying Antifa. They were making them like they were some, heroes. Keep in mind, Teen Vogue is also a magazine that was trying to teach young kids about anal sex.
What?
This is Teen Vogue. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. If you go to Fascists Against Fascism, there's a page on Facebook. It's kind of funny. But if you go there, they posted the articles. And Teen Vogue is pushing this nasty rhetoric on our children. And now they're glorifying Antifa. They're glorifying Antifa. So if you're a teenager, you have no idea. You're not, trying to go research who Antifa is. Teen Vogue, they told you that it's good, They told you that being Antifa is exciting and it's fun. It's, standing up against fascists and racists.
Dude, that's just completely sick.
It's completely sick.
It's completely sick. All right. Well, hey, I want to thank everybody for watching. We stream live we always stream live on Facebook every single night when we go live. We always stream live on Facebook. And at the same time, we always stream live to YouTube at the same time. So that way, if you have your choice, wherever you want to watch it, because some people prefer YouTube over the other. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Please visit UnitedAmericaFirst.com. Please help as much as you can. We got to keep fighting this fight. And I want to thank everybody for watching. We will be on tomorrow evening. Thank you. God bless and good night. Doing that video.
It triggered the media. It triggered somebody.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's playing the media like a fiddle. I mean, seriously. He knows exactly what he's doing because he did that. Then they said, oh no, he's bringing up Hillary, Russia, uranium, 20%. When the media is not looking at it. And then you have these liberal, hardcore liberal left YouTube outlets like Young Turks saying that the Hill reported on it in their mainstream media. But what Donald Trump is talking about, he's talking about the mainstream media today. CNN, MSNBC, he's talking about all of them today, and not any of them are talking about it. See, that's how they spin it. They completely spin it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The only thing that they're saying is, Trump campaign, indictment, Russia. That's the key words they're saying. And people that are not paying attention, they're going to just hear the fact that there's something.
Because that affects people that they protect. So they don't like covering that story. But the big story is uranium and how Russia got 20% of our uranium. And frankly, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. And it's a disgrace that the fake news won't cover it.
So You know, a lot of people don't even realize Donald Trump said that right before they came out with these indictments. Did you notice that?
Yeah, absolutely. I watched that, and whenever I seen that, I don't forget who I was talking to, but we said, you know what? Donald Trump's tone was different there. It was serious, and that was kind of something that we took note of there. I don't know if it was you and I talking about it one day, but whenever he first said that, we took note that he was serious. And so
you're talking about he knows exactly how to play the media. He's been doing it a long time. He knows exactly how to play them. And in this video clip, you know what? Let's just go to the video clip, and then when the video clip plays, we'll come back.
Uranium is a big subject. If the mainstream media would cover the uranium scandal and that Russia has 20% of our uranium for whatever reason, and a lot of people understand what those reasons may be, I think that's your Russia story. That's your real Russia story. Not a story where they talk about collusion, and there was none. It was a hoax. Your real Russia story is uranium and how they got all of that uranium, a vast percentage of what we have. That is, to me, one of the big stories of the decade, not just now, of the decade. The problem is that the mainstream media does not want to cover that story because
Hello. Welcome. My name is Will Johnson. Tonight we have Gabriel Silva with us. What's going on, Gabriel?
How's it going?
It's going good. So, I titled this Russia and American Uranium. I want to really touch on the whole Russia deal and American. So it's pretty interesting. American. You need to mute that window over there. Okay.
There was an echo.
Yeah. My producer got it. So when Vegas took place, when the shooter took place in Vegas, they didn't talk about anything but that because they were pushing the whole gun control thing. And I was telling people that I said, now watch. As soon as it's done, they're going to start talking about Russia, because they still think there's something there. And one of the things, and I have a video clip that I want to play. And one of the things that Donald Trump did, and I'm telling you, this dude is smart. Donald Trump is brilliant.